Welcome live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. I'm your host, Devin Poslusny. And now, drumroll please. He's back.
I'm back.
And
not on Skype.
And not on Skype. And just to open up the show before we go to our show lineup, give you an idea of the last time he was on was March 5th, 2014. Welcome live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. I'm your host, Devin.
Yeah, looks good.
I'm with Dave Poslusny as always.
Hello, everybody.
Can't really say always because this is not a second show.
So far, so good this season.
Yeah.
I still don't have a contract.
Always brings up the stupid contract. And then after that, we went off air for a couple weeks due to technical difficulties.
Your technical difficulties.
My technical difficulties. And then guest co-host came on. Did a very good job filling
I
in.
think she did well. Yeah, she
filling
did.
in the pothole there. And then now you're back.
Now I'm back.
Which in a couple weeks you are going to have to take a little leave again. But it's to get better.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct. We won't get into it. And then the guest co-host will come back. Maybe have
It's actually another couple weeks. It'll be, I'm looking right now at the second week of June, but it's only going to be for a few days. So I may even make it, depending on when we...
Tuesday. Make it Tuesday. This way you're good on... No.
It's actually, if I mail it Tuesday, I could be back by Monday. That's possible. Well, we'll see.
Whatever. Worst case scenario, you miss 1 week and then you're back after that. So to get to our show lineup is where jibber-jabbering here. We have our Motorsports in 60, which is covering the Nationwide and Supercross. NASCAR, I forgot to put in the lineup after the most Motorsports in 60, the live event season little update here. Virtual race after the break, the points championship, and the final lap. So let's go right into things. Motorsports in 60. Now, advantage with him here, leave that up over there and use his notes. Nationwide Series raced at Talladega on Saturday. I saw some of the notes you put on, and we'll get to that in a minute. You said it was a great race. Here's your top five. Finishing fifth, Sam Hoyers Jr. David Reagan finished fourth. Regan Smith finished third. Chris Buescher, used to saying James, finished second, and Elliott Sadler won the race. Supercross finished out their regular season on Saturday night in Vegas. They'll be back in a couple weeks for the $1 million race or something. I'm not sure. What a great reporter. Here's your top five.
It's got his facts together.
Finishing fifth, Trey Kennard. Fourth, Justin Barcia. Third, Ken Roxon. Ryan Dungey finished second, and Ryan Villapoto won the race. I believe the race, by the way, as we have 10 seconds left here, is called the Monster Energy $1 million race, or Monster Energy Cup. Because if you win, like, all three... It's like heat races, almost like.
Mm-hmm. And
if you win all three, you get $1 million. But if you win like one...
It's one of those that the odds are pretty slim.
Yeah, exactly.
Although it would be nice.
Yes, it would.
Buy a lot of dirt bikes with that.
Yeah, some like Ryan Villapoto, I mean, last week clinched his fourth consecutive straight championship. So, he's got a lot of money already. And he adds to it every year.
They don't pay for their bikes either.
Yeah.
The bikes are supplied by the manufacturers.
Yes.
So kind of like that goes on in racing too.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not completely supplied. In the dirt bikes cases, yes, the manufacturer is, sure, you want to drive a Kawasaki? We'll give you one. Or two or three.
Okay, so not in the show lineup here is this still stays up on Motorsport in 60. Well, really, actually, there you go. Perfect. This past weekend we went to Vermont, as you guys probably know from Facebook and Twitter, and we were there for Devil's Bowl Speedway opener. And I was like super excited because I had media access. I don't know, did I tell you what comes entailed with media access at the track?
No.
Free access to everything. So I go over to the media booth, and I say my name, and they give me a wrist and a bracelet. And I am able to go into the pits, I'm able to be in the grandstands, the tower, victory lane, infield, anywhere on the track property, really, without paying.
Now, can you get that at Loudon?
Working on it. And for the media guy told me, since we're planning on covering the modifieds at Loudon on the race weekend, the Friday, the All-Star Shootout,
Mm-hmm.
he said to talk to Jonathan Stallsmith, about getting permission for that because NASCAR's really tight with who they let
Right.
record, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. I haven't recorded any NASCAR. Well, I recorded the modifieds of Thompson.
Well, if you can get in for at least the the lower tier racing,
Yeah.
that'd at least be a start, and you can show them.
Yeah, exactly. But we got to the track on Friday, and we were looking for the media guy because I wanted to introduce myself, and he said that I can go out onto the track. And as you guys saw, the inside access, the grounds crew, couldn't think what it was called, told us that they had canceled all the events due to weather. And my mom and I were upset because we're used to NASCAR. All right, you got rain coming. We're gonna give it our all, and we're gonna hope for the best. This.
And if not, at least they'd be redoing it or doing it a different time.
Yeah, and they tried their best. Okay, it rained. Get the Air Titans out there or the track drying equipment, which at Lee was a pickup truck with 7 tires dragged behind it for friction. And
it does work.
Yeah, it does. And get the track dry, and they have lights. And as you probably know, guys, Devil's Bowl's in the middle of nowhere, so they can race into midnight and not really affect anybody because the farm next door went out of business and there's like nobody around.
So I take it the end result was the weather got better and they didn't.
Yep. Both Saturday and Sunday, there were like spot showers in the morning, but come practice and race time, it was perfect.
That would frustrate me.
And I was upset. I'm like, and my mom is like really upset, and I'm like, you know what? If it rains, I understand. Why have them bring them out, rain, go home, lose money possibly on the rescheduled date. But it didn't rain. And at the same time, I thought about it though, and I realized the grounds were soaked. As you saw in the video, I stepped off the track and I like sunk in a foot.
Like a mud pit?
Yeah, basically. So if a car went off, alright, the tow truck's going to stay right there and we're going to run a wire. Driver, can you hook it up yourself? Because we don't really want to go in.
Yeah!
Catch. And it was wet, and they've already canceled this weekend's events because the construction for the go-kart track wasn't finished yet, and they don't want to tear up anything.
Mm.
And
no, one thing that would be good though is if a car did go over the track, at least it would stop quickly.
good point. It'd be like,
Yeah, stuck.
but and also the grounds were wet, and I was telling our cameraman it was probably a good call because tear up the parking lot, which is a grass field. Tear up the parking lot, so you're now going to have to pay money, the owner. Bring in a construction crew, have them tear this all up,
So they come out and level
yeah,
it.
and
Well, it's also a tough time of year in New Hampshire, or New England in general, because we have what's called mud season up here.
mhm.
And it pretty much comes straight out of the winter. When everything starts to melt, it's just mud. I mean, even my own backyard with grass and whatnot is real soft, and if you're not careful, you can wind up leaving foot ditches in the backyard. And yeah, no, it's. I can understand why they canceled it.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Although it doesn't make you happy, it's still, it's for the better in the long run.
yeah, and the media guys said that they're working with American Canadian Tour to get a rescheduled date, and I'm working with my drivers, my parents, on getting over there to catch that rain date. Of course, with NHMS, it's, oh, you guys are racing tomorrow? We'll be here. But Vermont, it's not, you guys are racing tomorrow? Well, we live 4 hours away, no, 2 hours away, and we leave it, and yeah, it's not easy. But, so my mom and I stayed, and so Saturday night, the guy we were with, as you guys saw in the Fairmont, Joe Donaldson, the guy we were with, he's like, okay, so down in West Lebanon, New York, they have a dirt track, Lebanon Valley, actually, and he's like, they'll race in the rain. Okay. So we drive 2 hours down there on the road that seemed to never end. It was like with trees and farmland, and it's like. But we get down there, we pay. It's looking great. I can't wait. It's going to be my first night race, my first dirt race. I'm looking forward to it. And we pay for we get fries, we get everything. We're heading out to the grandstands. And they say, Attention race fans. We never want to say this announcement in racing, but the officials have decided to postpone the race till next week.
Sounds like it was an overall bad trip.
Yeah. So, we're like, oh, alright. And at this point, the grandstand's empty right away because it like downpoured, and the track's open. And people were walking across the track going into the pits, watching the teams load up and go home. And I was like, oh wow, I really want to go out there. That'd be really cool. I didn't bring my camera because I didn't want to record because this is like, Lebanon's like a top 5 tier dirt track in the country. It's like
Really?
Yeah, it's like high class, like almost like Daytona or Talladega in NASCAR. So my luck, I would record, get one of their sponsors. The sponsors would yell at me, yell at the track, and the track would get to me. You know what I mean? Just the domino effect that I could see happening.
I would think that if you got a sponsor, it would just be further exposure. Why would they have a
Well,
problem with
no,
that?
I know, but just making sure. So, I said to Joe, I'm like, hey, can we go over there? And he goes, that clay is as slick as ice. And it probably had about that much water standing on it. And we're like, what are you talking about? And somebody walked across the track in flip-flops and slipped and got the entire side of them covered in mud and clay. And he looks at me and goes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, you know what, just for the heck of it. And I walk down onto the track, and I'm right up against the wall. And I walk out a little bit, and it's not really slipping much. So then I come up right up against the wall, and I feel that I'm realizing that I'm getting shorter. Because I'm sinking into the clay right by the wall that doesn't get touched by the cars.
And of course, we don't have this on video.
Well, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and say my sole of my shoe is in the mud, and the next part is my feet are going to get soaked. So I rip my foot out, and I almost fall, and I have like probably about that much mud in my shoe walking back to the car. I'm picking up everything while I'm walking back. So then...
You should be glad you didn't come right out of your shoe.
Yeah.
I've been in mud where the shoe sticks in the mud.
Yeah. And then, I know I'm boring you guys, Sunday, there's like a mud bogging thing. I told you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mud bogging thing, and they race in the rain. Well, turns out that all the teams went home early because of the rain. Really?
Mud bogging?
Yes.
And they went up. Okay. No, that don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and they're like monster...
You got a bad luck streak coming there or something.
Well, they're like monster trucks.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like...
They do it in Pittsfield, too.
Yeah. And it's like, really? You guys went home because of the rain? You're
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And the only racing I got to see this weekend was the last 10 laps of the Talladega race.
So you didn't even see that race?
No. Like, I got 0 racing this weekend.
That's why you need one of these.
That's the guy to talk to. And that guy up there.
No, I was going to say, that's the guy that guy's not paying the bill, so he's not the one to talk to.
Alright, well...
Wait, what did we do that? Did you do that? Is that where you want to be?
Yeah. So, I don't know. It was a pain in the butt, and...
I can go on my TV right now with that.
Go ahead.
Live.
Go ahead.
Anything in my DVR. We could watch the race right now.
Go ahead. I didn't get to see the race. I'd like to actually watch it.
It was a good one.
Actually, I can tell you how to access it from your own computer.
Yes.
Well, you're not going to do it now. You have to download the programming first.
And never mind. Well,
Just Dish Anywhere, it's easy.
except I don't have a Dish account.
You don't have to use my account, that's what I'm saying. You can
Oh.
use my account as long as I'm not, which is not most of the time.
Sweet.
But yeah, that came in handy while I was away.
So, you're telling
Oh,
me...
did that come in handy.
Alright,
Especially being this screen is bigger than the television I had in my room.
Yes, it was.
So, you're telling me that if I miss the race and we have a show on Monday, I can text you and say, hey, are you on? And you say no, I can go on my laptop and watch the race?
You just go to my DVR.
Okay, first of all, how long have you had this?
About 3 weeks.
Okay.
4 weeks? I don't know. Yeah, somewhere like that. About a month.
Well, I'm glad to hear this, because, like, I'm really excited now. when you're not using it, I could be watching.
Which, now that I'm home, I'm rarely ever using it unless I'm...
Unless
Because I could do it on this, too. Say if I'm waiting for a doctor's appointment or something, I can actually watch, like, full episodes of Family Guy and stuff like that. People are already hating me, too, when I'm sitting in waiting rooms. I'm just watching this phone, laughing, stuff like that, and people are looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Plus, I have one of those earpiece things, so they don't know if I'm talking to somebody or what I'm doing, but yeah, that's my big thing. It's because they're only, the episodes without commercials are only actually about 20 minutes long.
Oh, yeah.
So when you go to if you're on time for an appointment, what they always tell you, arrive 15 minutes early, blah, 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 say you're 20 minutes early, you get time to watch the whole episode before they call you in. It's kind of cool.
Now I'm like really excited. I want to watch a race now.
Well, actually, I had what was I did the other day? Oh, I couldn't be home because I wanted to catch the weather on the news.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally waited till like quarter after. He usually comes on. Our local weatherman comes on about 17 after.
Yeah.
And at 15 after, I quick went in it and just went to live channel 9, boom, and watched the weather and turned it off and got what I wanted. And that's when I was literally outside of my house, but I was working outside my house, so I didn't want to go in, stop doing what I was doing. But I still wanted to make sure I caught the weather, and just like, done. It's really cool.
Now, I forgot I wanted to show you something while he was talking. As you know, we went to Fairmont Speedway, an old field of what the track was, really.
Old field.
And we walked the entire track, and it's quite interesting because my mom was the cameraman and she had Joe behind her, so the camera, as you'll see, is like dipping and going into the sky and over here now and over there. So I decided I'll make a blooper reel.
So I was going to mention that to you, actually, off air. I was going to mention it, that we should probably do something like that on a yearly basis.
I think at the end of this year I'm going
Stuff
to...
that you may cut out that would be actually funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff we don't want to actually show on the show because it was like silly and stupid, which happens quite often.
I got one in the
That would be great to put together, like a half hour of that or something like that, because you can easily do that.
Which I think I might start doing. I'll cut out the bad parts, save it, and then I'll cut out the good parts. But we're about 17 minutes. See, I got a running clock this time. I'm smart. We're gonna watch this. And some of it, I might have to pause and to point out the parts to look for. I forgot to turn my ringer down. But, did you see this yet?
Which one? Sorry.
You will never see that.
Did I see what?
It
The
takes
blooper.
hard work, dedication.
I don't believe so.
A little luck.
Are you?
I just want to show you something. Go ahead.
Okay.
Did I see what?
The blooper reel from Fairmont.
No.
No?
Nope.
Well, hold on. What?
This is going to kill him. That's the ARCA race from the other day.
Running in the fourth spot. Tom Hesser is fifth. Mason Mitchell, that 98 is going to tuck in behind. 77.
A little spoiled, am I?
Just a tad.
Actually, you should do that.
Scott Sheldon. That's his teammate, the 23 is Spencer Gallagher on the outside.
Should be done.
Upwards speeds of almost 190 miles an hour for these cars.
Look how on time it is. Fast.
Wait, this is live right now on...
This is off my DVR.
Oh, okay.
This was the ARCA race on... Was it Friday?
Trying to work
Yeah.
together. They cannot bump draft in the corners, but they can on the straightaways and through the tri-oval. Yeah, they can actually
Enough to kill you, ain't it?
actually push down the straightaways again, but not in the
You're
corners.
a jerk.
I am not a jerk. That is a jerk.
You know, you always say that at the races. Like, I'll say, you're a jerk. You're like, I'm not a...
Do you know where that comes from?
No.
Your Uncle George.
Okay.
Georgie, mine and your father's brother.
Okay.
He used to do that. Where we got it, where he got it, we have no idea. But he used to do it all the time, and it stuck with me.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question here with that. So Friday night, I wasn't doing anything in the camper in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
And if you weren't watching this on this,
Mm-hmm.
I could have been watching that live on my lap.
Did you have internet?
No, I didn't.
You have to have something. Like this has both. This has like
Yeah.
right now it's running on your parents' internet,
Yes.
as you can see by there. But if
Yeah.
I was away from an internet, it picks up the 4G But you also have to remember when you pick up the 4G, you're also streaming.
which is
So it
more.
uses a lot of
Yeah.
it uses a lot of space.
Okay, I just realized it's 8 o'clock here on the East Coast, and sadly I gotta go back to school tomorrow. So let's look at this blooper reel.
Wah.
And there's a blooper reel moment
That's right. I
right
have
there.
to get up at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Why?
My neighbors, the house I take care of next door, they're coming to turn the water on. What time are they coming? 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, I don't even know what 6:30 in the morning looks like. And you want me to get up just so you can turn on water?
Do you want me to explain it to you? The sun's coming up.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, here we go. Turn this before you come up here.
Traffic really dissipates before it gets to any major town out there. And sorry, I have a play-by-play going on behind me of what they used to race here. He first went like this as a horse. Now he's going like this as like cars, and next I think is gonna be our production crew, aka the people behind me, and one of them is doing a reenactment of what? Oh, they had a carnival here? They had a carnival here at one point?
Blooper reel.
But they're not behind you.
Documentary here.
That, okay, adding to
You
it.
said it twice. As soon as you said that, I'm looking behind you like, oh.
I'm waiting for you to hit proper.
That's how simple it gets in
This
Vermont.
is Joe?
That's Joe. That's how simple it gets in Vermont.
So he's
Whoa.
also in the running, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Trooper actually. That was Trooper, the name. Joe was
Actually
Trooper.
turn with us. Yes, people use this regularly, so riding their bike and stuff like that.
Kid just came right up to me and looked at me like, what are you doing? Oh,
Hello?
see him?
You can keep going.
That's the track that you're on?
Yep. I'll show you in a second what it looked like.
Okay. Mom, keep coming. Okay, so we'll talk in a minute.
See what I mean by the camera work?
Don't stop.
You hear what I mean by the breathing?
Yeah. She had the earbuds in, and I'm like, do you hear my breathing? Oh, no, I don't.
There we go.
She's fired.
Okay. Edit, cut, good. And last night, May 3rd, we went to Lebanon Valley Speedway. It was rained out. Mother
Has
Nature's
nothing to
not
do with
liking
the
it
topic.
this weekend. It was rained out, and my shoes probably had about that much mud attached to it. And
Watch Joe.
yeah. So now, okay, we made it to another part. Joe's on camera now. I almost guarantee it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now, just keep walking, Mom. Look down, Joe. You're on, idiot. Just look right down here. That's where the lens is. So just angle, and I'll keep moving. Yes, a wireless headset is in the production budget coming up here. So
I zoomed in on
That was
him.
just
we're
some
on
strange kid?
here now.
Yep. Some just
Round
random
turn
kid
two.
riding along.
Yeah, it's got a racing type cap. Is there a number on that? I didn't
We
notice.
get to turns 3, and production crew's really bugging the heck out of me right now. So yeah, they all need to look for new jobs. That's where I got pushed earlier
The mud.
by the guy standing behind the camera. So, because you're the one who did it. Yeah, you did.
He's saying I didn't do it.
Because you did.
Joe now?
Trash.
Joe.
And
To explain that a little bit, when we got out of the woods from taking pictures of the cars, I gave my mom the tech bag, and she's like, I'm not holding this. I'm like, just give me a minute. We did a lap around the track, which took about an hour. And then we did some more recording, so probably about an hour and a half of her holding the bag. So then she took it off.
Who had your sister during this?
She stayed home.
Just
Oh,
show me.
okay.
But,
So she's dead.
so yeah, so Joe took the bag and went, she's not holding it for a minute, and put it down and just went back. So,
okay, so there. And by the way, just so you know, that was the quote unquote redneck that I was talking about, and also that was Joseph Donaldson. So yeah, they already know him. So now, if you notice that if the umbrella could duck a little bit forward, no, the front end could come down. There you go. There you go. Hey.
He just pulled.
Okay, so you just already broke.
You okay?
Yeah.
Glad I got my rain jacket on. So, okay, so lost tracks. Joe, could you back up? Because you can see, Joe, your shoulder is in the shot. Now your hat is.
Did everyone see it? Oh, there you go.
Yes, I just kicked him right in the rib.
It's gonna make for a great blooper reel.
So, real nonsense.
Doesn't surprise me. When
Wow.
how'd you go to that?
I opened it up, going through my drive. You're gonna have to do it manually. Okay, so
See, now he's making me work.
finally at least doing something. Okay, so now moving on here to the notes as we are on camera 2. Devin, just a little note there. Dave really ran the show since, one, I didn't have any Wi-Fi. I got like an hour of internet last night when I got upset with Joe, and I just walked in, unplugged his router, and plugged it right into my laptop. And it was actually kind of funny because he's on his laptop in the living room, and he plays a video, and it's playing, and all of a sudden it stops, and he's like, "Oh, what the beep is going on now? No Wi-Fi." I'm like, I just basically unplugged his router and plugged it right into my laptop. And he comes in, he goes over to the router, say this is the router, he's like, "What the heck?" You little...
So I take it wasn't wireless? Or?
No, well, it was wireless, just my laptop couldn't connect. Like, I click on the wireless, and I enter in the keypad, and it said, enter the code again, a code again, a code again. And I was like, really? I'm getting it in the camper, I'm getting it in the house, I'm getting it everywhere. Just they couldn't connect. So I just basically hijacked his internet.
Nice.
And he's like, "You little S." So Dave ran the notes really this weekend. So, and now with his dish everywhere thing, he can run the notes anytime now, 24/7, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So he just wrote. Well, actually, you know, I'll let you go through it.
Oh, sorry. Wait.
The notes, just
Huh.
go. Through.
Well, I don't see any comment from you at all in here, so you didn't comment at all?
I didn't have internet.
No.
Well, when I was on the internet.
Truth be known, I was only able to actually watch half the nationwide race. It's kind of bent about that, but I was in the midst of something, so I'm still trying to get back to the groove, and unfortunately at that point wasn't. So I did get to watch half of it, and truth is another track I love. I mean, I said that, I did believe I said that about Richmond,
Yeah.
but what I thought about when I wrote, love this track, and it was a great race, by the way, nationwide race. Did you get to see it? That
I saw
no, it was a good race.
I saw like the last 10 laps.
Congrats to Elliott Sadler.
Mm.
But what I noticed, the two tracks that I said I really liked, Talladega and Richmond, have you ever noticed how similar the tracks actually are, even though they're dramatically different in size and
Way
speed?
different.
But they're very similar tracks.
They're D-shaped, cookie cutters.
Right, and the way they race on it is very, very similar.
Close.
You got braking and acceleration at Richmond that you don't have at Talladega because there's no brakes, and for the most part you're floored the whole time.
Unless somebody comes in front
if
of
you
you.
really watch the whole, everything but the giant wrecks, even in Richmond you have some pretty good wrecks.
What makes you say that?
Well, I think pretty good wreck anywhere, really. I mean, it amazes me how on half-mile tracks they have 6-7 car pileups, and the damage
big
is
one.
unbelievable.
The big one.
But
Not
another,
even-
that's basically what I want to say is just another track I love, and getting to watch the second half of the nationwide race reminded me of that, and I was super excited for Sunday, really was. So I literally sat through the whole thing, which started at, what was it?
Noon, probably.
No, it was earlier than that. They started at like 11 o'clock, I think, on Fox Sports 1.
Oh,
And they
for
handed it
race
right
day.
over to Fox, yeah, and then they did their Actually, it was really the same people, so it kind of just rolled right over, just changing the channel, and then you went into the race, and it was basically 5 straight hours of watching racing.
True race fan right here, as you notice.
Well, I enjoyed it, and I do love Talladega. It's the you really never know track. Daytona is very similar to that, where a lot can happen, but Talladega, it takes it just that much further. And they actually talked about it in pre-race too, the design of the track and how they came up with it and all of that stuff. And it's another France design.
And the start-finish line is moved up for his purpose. Darn it.
For selling seats.
For selling seats, and also having the fans look down, like being like, hey, if we sit here, you can see the start-finish line.
Yep.
So let's move here.
Which we've tried at Loudon, where we moved around looking
Yeah.
at different points of view and stuff like that.
And
So,
I think my dad and I's got the best in front of the suite now.
he
You
was
look
thinking
right down
about
the pit road.
he was thinking about that long before any one of us were, and that's how he came up with the design. And I do believe they also moved Daytona, didn't they? I think afterwards he was so successful with the Talladega point of view, they moved Daytona start finish line.
To where it is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was it before?
I think
Further back.
dead on center in the back.
Dead on center.
In the stretch.
On the back straightaway?
Yeah, where we sat, that used to be the front.
Did he change it after he originally built it?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
because I was going to say, I remember the first race, the start-finish line was right in the dead center of the triangle. I didn't realize
The first race you saw, or the first race?
first race in '59.
No, you don't have to show me. I'm just trying to think if you're right or wrong on that one, but
Why not? Daytona.
I know it was moved. When was it moved? If he's saying that it was in the...
I believe he's right, and it was moved years
go.
later, after the Talladega was so successful.
That doesn't tell you anything. How do you know that's right in the middle of the thing?
Because it's in the middle of the triangle, the flat back straightaway is...
Really? You can tell that's part of the triangle? That's the back straightaway.
Yeah, that's the back straightaway. So, high banks.
Well, the straightaway and the D get low.
Fine. Why don't we just go to Google Earth, see if I can go back to 1959. See? That's in the trial.
That's nuts when you really think about it. The guy in the middle of the track there, just standing there, or walking towards the cars, is like, ooh, go back one. Oh. No. I don't know where you went. It's gone now. It almost looks like a Barracuda, or it could have been a, oh yeah.
Yeah, that is
It
Barracuda.
is. It's 66.
A what?
That'd be a 66. 65 or
No,
66.
that would be the, what do you call it? That's the 64. See the window in the back there? It
Right.
actually wraps around.
Right.
That was 64.
But it was 64, 65, and 66. Because the 67, 68, 69.
I know, because I had one of those.
We also had a 68.
I had the 68
So did
too,
I.
but the 64 was the first one with the great big glass window. They used to call it the fish tank.
Well, that's where the Hemi and the glass came in.
Keep talking, you're wasting time. While I'm getting this set up, keep going.
So you're looking at a year yet?
Hold on. I'm getting to the track first. Oh, 95.
That's the oldest you can go.
Yeah.
No, something for you to research later.
Okay. Alright. So we're 30 minutes into the show.
33.45.
Yep.
That's what I was wondering what you were doing that for. I guess that's something new.
Well, I actually just started doing it now, and I realized since our show's been like hour, 15 minutes, hence why the virtual race was out last week.
Mm-hmm. You know what friends used to call me?
Chatty.
Tangent man. Because I go off on tangents. And that's what you do.
So do you sometimes.
I know, but you're more tangent than I am, and you're worried about time. Anyway, the Cup race, as I said, great day, because it was a huge day of racing. And one thing that came to my mind, and hey, I'll be honest with you, I always get a little bit emotional with it. I don't need a flyby at Talladega. I really don't. The truck does it all for me. It to me, that is awesome. The big truck that they always run around in with the flag.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if you, or if they ever considered a contest that you get to ride in that truck. Because he's hauling. You know, he's doing like 80 miles an hour on the track with the flag behind you. I would love that. That would be my day made right there. We would have to see the race. If I could just take that ride, that would be awesome. What are you looking it up?
Do you know how they choose that truck?
Do they know how to use books anymore? Everything is.
Everything.
I mean, wonder why libraries are dying. Yes, that truck.
Yeah, I can't see it that well. I don't look for all the truck race pictures. Wonder why. Do they race trucks at Daytona? At Talladega?
There it is.
That's like been the same truck for like
For years,
though.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's an older Peterbilt, I believe. Actually, there isn't a thing on the note. Yep, it is Peterbilt. Oh, it's bigger up there. Duh. But yes, that's an old Peterbilt that they've been using for years. Now, I did note when at one of the scenes where it went by that there was somebody in the passenger seat. Now, that's probably either somebody who makes sure the flag is right and all that other stuff. But I wonder if they've ever considered either auctioning it off for charity or something to that extent, so you'd be able to take a ride or a contest. Because I think that would be really cool to be out there, because everybody at that track is cheering that truck as it's going by. You watch them all standing, cheering.
Do they stay on the banking in turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4?
He goes through the whole thing.
He goes through
Well,
the
I
whole
know,
thing.
but does he jump to the
No,
apron?
No, he stays up
he's
on that.
He's doing about 80, 85 miles an hour.
Whoa.
The truck is obviously ungoverned. He's moving. For a truck that big, 80 miles an hour is fast. Though. That's you're in that going, oh my God, it's like being in a plane on the ground.
Yeah.
But I mentioned that in my notes here only because I really thought about it, and I've never heard of a contest or anything or even the chance to ride in that truck. But for people who are race fans that have been watching Talladega for so long, you experience that thing twice a year.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. And if you watch the audience, if you do watch a recording after I explain to you how to use that, and you watch that truck go around, watch the audience.
Yeah, because they all like.
It's
give a wave
almost
with
like a wave going
Yeah.
with the truck. Everybody's cheering it on and all that. Nobody's even looking up for the flyby. So they don't need a flyby because that is so awesome.
Yeah, there's an airport right on the back stretch. You know that, right?
Yeah, well,
Airport off turn 2.
Almost every huge track at this point has airports almost right there.
Okay, so nice job by Danica. Danica, right in the beginning.
Yeah, actually, she impressed me on Sunday. I'm starting to see some stuff in her. It looks a little more directed towards the speedways, the super speedways, but that's a big something, in my opinion. She was actually able to. She got the lead and she held those boys back.
Yep.
That ain't easy. I don't care who you are. Plain and simple. So that to me was starting to show that Danica's on her way. She's got to work the short tracks and all that other stuff. But that's kind of you thinking, Brad. But I don't remember exactly what happened. So one of these days you should make me do it just for the heck of it. But
You know what? You wanna? Go ahead.
Nope.
I think for the All-Star race, you guys should race each other.
I do remember actually. Brad came down on what was it, Danica Patrick,
No.
and wrecked himself.
No, he got loose. Way loose. And
Actually, that was Johnson and Edwards that did that.
here we go.
Crash out of turn number 4. Brad Keselowski.
This, by the way, is how Devin actually watches the race. He doesn't actually watch the race.
And a big
Just the highlights.
we saw
We saw this coming, Mike. We've been seeing this coming. They've been getting more and more aggressive. And
Is this the crash you were talking about, David, or are you talking about the one at lap 15?
Yeah, I'm talking about the one at the beginning.
There's one at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning of the
Keselowski wrecked
race,
twice.
Brad Danica was leading, and Brad had come up to second,
And he came in from like Kenseth.
and
or
he
something.
he went out, and then came back down. But the problem I've seen here, or I've heard, is depending upon which camera angle you have. One camera angle shows Brad coming down on Danica. Another camera angle shows Danica going up on Brad.
I think that it was totally.
Well, no, I watched these two, and you can actually see, if you're watching the lines as they're going along, Danica does go up a little bit.
Probably trying to block.
Let's watch.
This is lap 15.
He goes around, Michael.
Hold on. It's gonna annoy me.
Go around you on the outside, like
What's
that.
going on?
That's
The
what
quality.
Poslusny just did. Whoa, and going!
And
He
he
gets
turned.
tipped by Patrick, and he is off down to the apron.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Can't save it. Oh, slides up the track and back down. And Trevor Bayne almost slid up into another car.
He tried to force his way.
I love their commentary, too.
Yeah, the commentary.
That was a great save!
Keselowski into two.
No, it wasn't.
Down in front
If you want to see a great save, look at the couple that Kyle Busch did last year.
Inside in green and orange, the leader.
Now watch carefully here.
He comes up here, he's gonna get actually he's gonna get a little draft.
Wait, this is at lap 15, and they were 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more on lap 15.
You missed a good race.
You missed a good race. It was a spectacular
you gotta
race.
set me up with this dish because I'm watching this tomorrow.
Now watch carefully.
He gets a great run, and he just all but cleared.
I'd say they come on each other, but what I'm looking at there.
Yeah, they came at each other. I agree with you.
I don't think so. You know what?
No,
And
keep
I'm-
going. Let's actually see where he. He was below the line when he got clipped.
Tracks where you let off to get to the corner.
How about this save, Darrell?
Unbelievable.
How about this save, Darrell, as he goes right into traffic?
Unbelievable.
In all
I didn't
honesty,
know that
though,
was a good move, but okay.
in all honesty, you have to admit though,
How
How about this save?
One of those tracks where
right there, that's undead. Well, actually,
you let off quite the-
right there,
Mm-hmm.
that's. Hey, wall, I'm coming.
No, he saved it, but he didn't keep it off the track.
How about this save, Darrell?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And you know what?
Unbelievable as he goes right into traffic.
That shows some
Look at how these guys got to check up.
these guys aren't missing
Oh,
the
oh, watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Okay.
Almost took out Terry Labonte.
Okay.
This place
The track's got to cut the grass lower. Just saying.
is wide. At Daytona,
Isn't that what the valance on the front of the cars is for?
That's the point why I'm saying don't.
This track is wider.
You're going to see here, Mike. He just doesn't quite. He's almost there, but you're like I said, you don't.
And watch, Kev. See her coming up there?
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's.
Now watch
She
a
never exceeded the
a
line.
little bit further. You'll watch him coming down.
Yeah, but you know what?
No, just as I
That-
said, she didn't exceed the line. She's exceeding the line.
Well, what I'm seeing there is, and I know I'm pointing at this screen. I'm going to point over here. What I'm seeing right here is if I.
This track,
Darn it.
and he came down, but you're.
Okay.
He's
Right here.
almost there, but you're like I said.
She's just coming up to get up above this way, and she comes into the corner.
Okay, I
That's-
agree.
it's not-
It was not a thing that they did on purpose to each other. Either one of them, I think, were. It's just accident. It's a racing accident.
Darrell, it definitely looked like Danica
But it wasn't.
moved to the right just a little bit. And then
See, when I first saw it, though, to me,
Here we go.
it looked pretty blatant. And I did watch the replays.
See, she's coming up.
And he's coming down.
I'm gonna get a better arc into the corner, and he thought,
Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it looks more like he tried to block her.
yeah.
Right.
And it was probably, hey, you're clear. Wait, no, you're not clear. You're not gonna. Okay, hold on to it.
Call it what you want.
Actually, listening to, did you listen to any sponsor recordings and whatnot?
Okay, we
They were
got.
replaying. I couldn't imagine being a spotter at this track.
No, I
It's
watched.
like air traffic control. Inside,
It's
inside,
actually
outside,
worse
outside,
than
three wide, inside, hold on.
It's not just that, it's the distance they are from them. They're watching through binoculars in order to see close enough.
Look.
It's that far.
Well, being a driver too, as you're driving along and there's a wreck and your spotter's telling you that, and you see, go high, low, low. It's like, I'm trying to go high and now you want me to get, I can't even imagine what that's like.
I guess that's just, okay. Hi, wait, okay, you know what? Shut you off. Okay, ready?
You're riding with Keselowski.
See, you heard right there. In line, really. In line, meaning the spotter called him clear. In line, right there. In line, meaning you're clear. Come on down.
But he wasn't quite clear.
But he wasn't.
But that was probably because the spotters are in the middle of that trioval. They're in the
Actually,
middle.
don't they have multiple locations?
Yeah, but well,
In some of these
Well,
tracks they do.
Daytona
I'm not
and
sure about
Talladega.
Talladega.
I'm pretty sure they do.
well, either way, he might have been in the middle of the trial, and from
Hold on.
this view,
Just doesn't quite. He's almost there, but you're like I said, you don't back off.
right here, you're looking. I think he's clear.
What was Darryl just saying? Something about backing off?
Doesn't quite. He's almost there, but you're like I said, you don't back off on this track, and he came down just in front of her.
But Darrell,
Don't back off.
Well, meaning she
Um,
wouldn't back off.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's-
Most of the announcers are giving her a lot of credit for holding her
I
own.
I thought she did very well at this race. Unfortunately, the end result wasn't all that great, but hey, you know what? She's newer to it than the vast majority of them, so
And what do you call it? She wasn't a lap down in this race.
Not once.
right.
She
Then
was.
again, was
she
she
stayed
at
on
Daytona?
the lead lap,
Was she
which
at Daytona at all?
Huh?
Was she at Daytona?
Actually,
at all?
Daytona she got wrecked, didn't she?
She got
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think she got wrecked at Daytona this year
so far away.
and Daytona last year.
Moving on. Now this is causing controversy. In all honesty, I thought when that comment you were talking about this because we came back from Fairmont, and the guy, his name is Alan. He's like, "Hey, come on in real quick," because he comes up to the races with Joe for September. He's like, and he knows we're big race fans. Come in real quick, and he's like, Keselowski totally was driving too aggressive and just caused a big wreck.
Which was, yeah, true.
And I'm like,
Crash on
Really?
turn number 4.
and at first I was like, okay,
Keselowski in front of
but-
Trevor Bayne.
What lap was this?
Contact. The
not
two-
sure.
That was way down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I made that comment, it was about the Danica Patrick incident. So
Well,
One, right there.
this, he was driving too aggressive? How? Aerodynamically, that's like in the middle of the worst
it looked
position
to
because,
me like he was loose.
yeah, exactly. You have him, well, not really, but air is still, I'm
You should actually be.
I'm just gonna say you're pointing to your screen, not the what do you call it?
Your viewers cannot see that.
Hold on. So, he's getting loose. I'm pointing at the middle of the screen. Ken's, it's right here. No. He's getting loose because you have him coming up behind him, Biffle, I guess Reagan.
No, Reagan would have no
Reagan.
effect. Too far away.
So, you have his air bouncing off, I guess, the air's coming through, so it's bouncing off him, going up, causing that, and then Bane's air basically just went, alright, spin you right around.
Mm.
The fact that two just started to get loose, I'm not so sure.
So, in all honesty,
Well, he just said it. The two started to get loose, and that could have been for any amount of reasons because both Johnson and Edwards had the same incident. Had the same thing happen to them when they caused the wreck, but it wasn't really their fault. They were getting loose. Like Edwards, actually, they went back for the replay, and you could see his hand. He was letting everybody know something's wrong. He didn't know what was wrong yet, but he knew something was wrong, and that he was going to lose speed. And when you're doing, at this track especially, when you're doing 200 miles an hour, nobody's letting off. So if you're in position where something goes wrong, where you start getting a flat, or you start to get a wiggle, where you're getting bad air, you've got no control over losing 10 to 15 miles an hour instantaneously.
yeah,
And at 200 miles an hour, they're coming right on you.
yeah.
And that's pretty much what I saw happen there. That's what I saw happen, which was in my next notes here, to Johnson. That was no fault of his whatsoever. He just got loose, and as I said, takes a few guys with him. You know, it wasn't really his fault. And you guys know me at this point in time. I would never give Johnson credit, but I do. It wasn't his fault. Then shortly thereafter, Edwards, same thing as Johnson. But at least they had, where you could see Edwards was trying to warn them, but at 200 miles an hour, how much time do you have? You know, if you don't see the guy's hand waving out the window, the master car's in front of you, and result.
Yeah, and also,
Yeah,
he's
and
like,
poor-
he's going like this, and basically that part of your hand,
Mhm.
not even, it's out the window, and you have the,
Well,
Right
the
here,
main one that got
you have-
caught up in that wreck was Newman, and he wouldn't even been able to see his hand.
yeah, Newman was on
He
the
just,
highway.
he just had nowhere to go whatsoever. The car just came up, and that was that.
Any
But
other things?
No, last but not least, I said nice job, Denny. It was great to see him win, especially being it was his first restricted plate win. Did you actually know that?
I
See,
did
I didn't know that until he said it.
because I
I'm
thought.
like, was it really? And I had to think about it. I'm like, was that Denny's real? He never won Daytona. He's never won.
Well, I
Talladega.
was thinking about. I'm like, man, they're idiots. Sprint Unlimited, but I'm like, wait, regular season,
Right. They were talking about a real race, like
Yeah,
a 500 mile, or not a
not Sprint Unlimited,
Well,
Budweiser Duel.
yeah, not a sprint race.
Yeah.
Yeah. That he's done, but no, he never did. I actually had to look it up to make sure they were right. And
You
apparently
questioned
they
the
were
Fox
right.
guys?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well, I questioned them on what a great save right into traffic. But anyway,
Okay. So we started the NASCAR segment at probably about 30 minutes in, and it's an hour and 3. So now to the one part everybody wants to hear.
so the most important part of the show is the part that I'm here for, the NASCAR part.
Basically.
All right. I can live with that. Still don't have a contract, but I can live with that.
He's bringing that up every single time. Here's your top 5 for the Arians 499. Finishing 5th, AJ Allmendinger. Brian Vickers finished 4th. Clint Boyer finished 3rd. Greg Biffle finished 2nd. And Denny Hamlin won the race. Break. Time for a commercial break. We'll be right back. On the other side of this break, we might have the points championship or we might have the virtual race. Not sure, depending on time-wise. Oh, you know what? We'll have the virtual race. We'll be right back. Welcome back live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. Well, time for virtual race. Guess where I qualified? You guessed it, 43rd. I'm not good at Kansas, as you can tell. Here we go on 5 laps. Now I get 2 of these retries, so I'm going to use them. Need them.
I was just supposed to be doing good.
Lap 1, I advanced 1 position. Alright.
Where are we next week?
Kansas.
Oh, yeah,
Except
that's
for
right.
under the lights for Kansas.
It's just gonna be a late race.
Yeah.
Oh, for us.
Yep. I just lost my timer on how long the show is, and I probably just died. Darn steering. Lap 4 of 5. Trying not to finish 43rd. one position. I just want one position. Let's come down to white flag in the air. Leaders in turn 1, just to give you an idea of how far I'm behind.
You're gonna need binoculars to see car in front of you soon.
Here I come. Maybe. Anything goes. Tony Stewart won the race.
How'd you know Tony Stewart won the race?
Because he was...
I saw Edwards on the screen. I didn't see.
That's my car. I just wrecked. View results real quick. Because it shows you the leader on the track thing.
Oh, okay.
14 was leading. Where am I? Wonder where. There I am. Okay. Virtual race over. Also known as an embarrassment. Welcome back, live here to Racing Hotspot Weekend Roundup. Here's the picks for 5th place for Trooper Denny Hamlin. 4th is Kevin Harvick. 3rd Ryan Newman. Kyle Busch for 2nd, and Matt Kenseth for the win. That was Trooper. Dave. You can throw it up here, whatever. Dave had 14. Tony Stewart for 5th. Carl Edwards for 4th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. for 3rd. Kevin Harvick for 2nd, and Kyle Busch for the win. Art had Matt Kenseth for 5th. Tony Stewart for 4th. Jimmy Johnson for 3rd. Jeff Gordon for 2nd, and Brad Keselowski for the win. Whew, halfway home. Joe had Kevin Harvick for 4th. Denny Hamlin for 3rd. Tony Stewart for 3rd. Junior for 2nd, and Jeff Gordon for the win. I had way oddball. You're trying to get to it?
Yeah, where is it? Oh.
And don't get that on my mom's phone. I had Austin Dillon for 5th, Danica Patrick for 4th, Matt Kenseth for 2nd, Matt Kenseth for 3rd, Denny Hamlin for 2nd, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. for the win. And Kristen had Junior for 5th, Kyle Busch for 4th, Denny Hamlin for 3rd, Brad Keselowski for 2nd, and Kevin Harvick for the win. Now, moving on to how the overall standings. Trooper got 2 for 5th place. Dave got 0, ouch. Art got 0, ouch. Joe got 4th for 4th place. I got 2nd place, 8, and Kristen got 3rd and the win. So that would equal 16, 8, 4, and 2. Now moving on to the standings.
This does not show up at all.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you off camera. Tech issues here. Overall standings, Art is in the lead with 86 points. Joe is in 2nd, 7 points back. I'm in 3rd, 31 points back. Dave is in 4th, 32 points back. Kristen's in 5th, 48, and Trooper is in 6th with 53. Win column here, Art has 3, Joe has 3, I have 2, Dave has 1, Kristen has 2, and Trooper has 1. So if we look at, first of all, Rookie of the Year Challenge, we changed how we categorize the points. The highest out of them gets 4, and the lowest gets 1. So that's why it says Kristen 4, Joe 3, Trooper 2, and Art 1. Because you were the at the end, the bottom of the results. So next week, we'll just add those up. And then as you see here, the chase standings to be announced because we're working on it. But I figured this out. Starting in Chicagoland, the person that's in first is going to have 100 points. Second place is going to have 80. Third is going to have 60. Fourth is going to have 40. Fifth is going to have 20. And sixth is going to start out 0. And I'm not going to put only the top 4 can have it because, as you and I both know, you can start out from 0 and win the championship. So we're just going to leave that wide open. We're just going to recategorize. So, does that look reasonable to you?
Nah, you're just confusing me, so
Okay.
I'm not even going to make a comment.
So if we were to look at the overall standings, if the chase started next week, Art would be in first, Joe would be in second, I'd be in third, Kristen would be in fourth, Dave would be in fifth, and Trooper would be in sixth on wins.
Okay.
You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure. Well, I'll explain it more when you get there. So, Kristen won to Talladega. Then we have Kansas, All-Star Race, and Charlotte. And as soon as Charlotte race is over, all changes are locked into place until December. Chase format, picking order, rule, blah, blah, blah. And I'm really not changing much.
You would think if he spent so much time making all the rules and making it go the way he wants to, he'd be in the lead, but it just doesn't seem to work out for him.
Welcome back, Dave. Welcome back.
So I got 0 and no points this last race?
Nope. If we go back, Trooper got 5th place, Hamlin. Joe got 4th, Hamlin. Kristen got 3rd, Hamlin. I got 2nd, Hamlin. And Harvick was the highest out of all
I
these.
didn't even predict Hamlin.
Yeah. And then again, I just threw him into an eyeball.
No,
like, oh.
I underestimated that, obviously.
Remember last week, we didn't have this set up, so I finally remembered it. IndyCar is having a first on Saturday, and I actually plan to watch it, is the Indianapolis Grand Prix. They're racing the...
Road course.
Well, that sounded safe.
Were they going to be going across the start-finish line backwards?
Yep. And from what I've seen, I'm actually kind of afraid to lean back in my chair now. But from what I've seen, drivers are... I forgot to give these a preseason tune-up.
Yeah, you're scaring me.
Yeah.
Oh, that seems fine. What are
Yeah.
these?
That's how you adjust the back.
Oh.
So if you want to hire, well, there are only 2 right here. Wow.
So it's useless.
So, yeah, basically. So, I put it up at the highest for you. Saturday they're racing the Indianapolis Grand Prix. From what I've been seeing, the road course is great. I haven't seen any video of it, and I would love to, but they're keeping all the practice sessions quiet right now. Probably on Friday or something they'll televise qualifying or something like that, but I'm not sure. Formula One, Sunday, 8 a.m. on NBC Sports Network. You got that one? Covering it? Twitter?
Sports Network? No, I don't.
8 a.m. though?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be there for that either.
And that means that next week we'll have our new Formula One analyst on Skype. That would be the first time you're able to meet him. And that means I have to use a handheld mic, because if I have the headset and you're like, hey, and he's only hearing my voice, he'll just see in the video.
So who is this?
Peter Long. He works at my dad's high school. He's a teacher. And he's a big F1 fanatic.
Okay.
So, and I think we'll give you a mic just in case if you want to tune in at all. But it might be a separate recording type thing, because it is a school night on Sunday night, so he might go to bed, because I don't know if he'd be up 3 o'clock. I don't know if he'd be up at 9, 10 at night.
Why don't you ask him before we get into it?
I will. Global Rallycross returns next weekend. Yeah, finally. Global Rallycross is on the board. They're off till May 17th. Trucks race Friday, 8:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. Nationwide is off till the 18th of May. That's, the day after the All-Star race. I believe they're racing in Iowa. I'm not sure. And then the Cup Series Saturday, 7:30 on Fox. Now, the reason why they did that is because they moved to a night race because Mother's Day is on Sunday.
Right. Well, it's
So-
always been a night race on Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, and whatever track they're at, if it has lights or not. It usually is Darlington. Last year it was Darlington.
Yeah, I believe so.
And now they flip-flopped it. So, that's your final lap. For those of you who we lost in the first 10 minutes of the show because I bored you with the Vermont weekend, you missed out on a lot of boringness. So, I'm sorry, that just...
Yeah, it's nothing like beating on yourself.
Well, you know, it's funny. Every week I see that I lose viewers, and I'm like, oh, wow, time-wise. But then I realize what I say on video might be doing it. Yeah, well, thank you for joining us here on the boringest show in the world. Well, he said it. Not watching that show ever again. Okay, but the point is that will do it for our show. Next weekend, we have a big weekend coming up because we have IndyCar, we have Formula One, we have trucks and Nationwide. And then the weekend after that is even bigger because IndyCar's off, but Formula One I think is back, trucks are back, Nationwide's back, Global Rallycross is back. Everybody, except for Nationwide, I think is back in 2 weeks. So...
And in 3 weeks is the big weekend, right? Indy 500 and
yeah.
where Kurt Busch is going to do both.
Yep. After 18th, then we go to the 25th, which is Super Weekend. Which, by the way, I wanted to talk to you about that, doing shifts on covering it on Twitter.
Oh, I don't know how to use Twitter, so...
Well, I'll talk to you and I'll teach you if you want to do it. Because when I covered the Rolex 24-hour race, at 3 a.m. I was still tweeting.
Mm.
And my mom walks in and goes... Hey. Says, hey, what are you still doing up? I'm covering the more like this. I'm covering the Rolex race. Well, where's your co-host? He doesn't know how to use Twitter. Well, you should, divvy up the parts. Alright, Dave. It's 11 o'clock. Your turn.
That's it, I'm up.
And he's like, I'm like, but he sleeps as a regular person. He's not a night owl sometimes. Yeah, my parents weren't too fond of me staying up basically 24 hours on that one weekend. Yeah. Thanks for leaving me out there.
Yeah, okay, blame me.
So yes, join us here next week. What's next week? We're going to have a regular show. Because I'm not anywhere. If anything, I'm at Lee during the day for modifieds.
Okay.
That's a day trip.
So we're talking about Sunday or Monday?
Sunday night. So join us here, same place, same time, because we'll be on Tuesday. No, we won't be on Wednesday, because this show's going to be on Wednesday. Join us here, same place, day earlier next week. Yes, this show is on Wednesday because of Vermont weekend. Whatever.
Well, we can actually do it earlier on Sunday, too, because the race is actually Saturday night, right?
Oh, yeah, because IndyCar's on Saturday, Cup and Trucks are on Friday and Saturday, and Formula One's early. So there's nothing going on. Okay. All right. We'll talk during the week.
You
Right.
get NBC Sports?
Yeah.
See, I don't.
I don't cover it, though. I'm not up at 8. Okay. So, that'll do it for us. Join us here, same place, a day early. We'll be on Tuesday next week. But we're back. He's back. Well, the dynamic duo, that just got weird, is back.
I didn't make it weird.
Well,
That was all you.
the way you looked at me, you're like,
Oh, I didn't know what you were doing.
Okay, join
Yeah,
us.
does this make you happy? The dynamic duo.
Have a good night, everybody, and goodbye.
Good night.